When the world gets loud, most people get louder. They react, defend, argue, and fight to be heard. But the strongest people don't. They go silent, not because they're weak, but because they've mastered something deeper. This video, Why Strong People Stay Silent in Chaos, explores the powerful reasons behind their stillness. Inspired by the calm strength of Henry David Thoreau, we'll uncover 5 timeless truths about why silence isn't retreat, it's power. 1. Silence is strength, not surrender. In moments of chaos, the world urges us to respond immediately. There's pressure to speak up, to defend, to argue back. But strong people understand something rare. Silence isn't weakness. It is discipline. It is control. It is strength held quietly in the palm of patience. When everything around you is spinning, silence becomes a stabilizer. It grounds you while others unravel. Strength doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't rush to react. It watches, it waits, it thinks. The strongest people know that reacting to chaos only pulls them into it. By choosing silence, they choose clarity. In society, we often confuse loudness with leadership. But true leadership comes from those who can remain composed. Imagine a storm. The trees that bend with the wind survive. The ones that fight it break. Silence is bending. It's choosing to observe before acting, to hold your ground without shouting your stance. Silence also protects. It keeps emotions from spilling into places where they can be used against you. When you're silent, you are not passive. You are preparing. You're letting your mind catch up with your emotions. You're finding a response instead of a reaction. The strongest people don't need to prove themselves with words. They let their actions speak. They don't surrender in silence. They strengthen. They build clarity, restore focus, and return to themselves. Siler said, "I never found a companion that was so companionable as solitude." In that solitude, in that silence, strong people sharpen their awareness, and when they do speak, it matters. Because their silence wasn't avoidance, it was choice. 2. They don't argue with noise. There's a difference between a conversation and chaos, between dialogue and disorder. Strong people know this difference, and that's why they don't waste energy trying to outshout the noise. Noise doesn't want resolution, it wants reaction. It feeds on emotion, conflict, and chaos. And when you engage with noise, you feed it. But when you step back, when you stay quiet, the noise has nothing to grow from. Strong people understand the cost of attention. They know that energy spent arguing is energy drained from peace, from purpose. Instead of battling every opinion, they conserve their strength for moments that matter. They understand that not everything deserves a response, especially not nonsense. Noise wants to pull you in. It baits you with ego, challenges your pride, dares you to react. But strength lies in choosing not to, in saying, "This is not worth my energy." Arguing with noise is like shouting into a storm. It changes nothing but exhausts everything. Strong people choose their silence as a boundary. It says, "I'm not available for chaos." And in that decision, they gain control. There's wisdom in restraint. Just because you can speak doesn't mean you should. Just because you can argue doesn't mean you must. Silence in the face of noise is not fear, it's freedom. Silence in the face of noise is not fear, it's freedom. Thoreau valued truth spoken deliberately. He believed that just because words are available doesn't mean they are required. Strong people follow this truth. They understand that real power is quiet, that peace isn't found in winning arguments, but in walking past them. In choosing not to argue with noise, strong people remind us power doesn't always speak. Sometimes it simply walks away. 3. Either listening more than speaking. In a world obsessed with speaking, true strength is found in listening. The strongest people don't rush to fill silence. They lean into it. They don't interrupt. They absorb. They don't react. They reflect. In chaos, while others talk over each other, the strong ones tune in. Listening is an act of patience, of discipline, of humility. It requires presence. To truly listen, you must silence your inner commentary. You must stop rehearsing your reply while someone else is still speaking. Strong people know this. They know that listening isn't waiting to speak, it's being still enough to hear. In moments of tension, listening gives you an advantage. You gather more information. You read between the lines. You catch the emotion under the words. You see what others miss. While others rush to respond, strong people ask what's really being said here. That question leads to understanding, not just of the situation, but of the person. And from understanding comes wisdom. Thoreau once said, "It takes 2 to speak the truth, 1 to speak and another to hear." The strongest people become the latter first. They listen deeply, to others, to the environment, to themselves. Their silence is not empty, it's alert, it's active. While chaos explodes, they are gathering clarity. While others shout over each other, They are identifying patterns, truths, and blind spots. Listening also builds empathy. Strong people don't judge immediately. They consider, they weigh, they step into another's shoes before delivering a response. And often after all that listening, they realize a response isn't even needed. The situation already solved itself, or it wasn't theirs to fix in the first place. In every room, the one who listens commands more respect than the one who talks, because strength isn't in how much you say, it's in how much you understand before you speak. 4. Their peace is self-made peace, that depends on the world staying calm is no peace at all. True peace, the kind that strong people carry, is self-made. It's not the result of perfect circumstances, but of inner construction. They've spent time alone, they've faced their inner storms, and they've chosen calm as their anchor, not chaos as their compass. In the middle of noise and negativity, most people are pulled in different directions, but those with self-made peace remain rooted. Their silence in chaos isn't silence because they have nothing to say, it's because nothing needs to be said to prove they're in control. Their emotions are grounded, not fragile. Their thoughts are focused, not scattered. Self-made peace doesn't arrive overnight. It is crafted over years, through disappointment, reflection, resilience, and practice. It's built by facing triggers, questioning your beliefs, letting go of false identities, and releasing the need to win every argument. These people don't need approval to feel secure. They don't need to win a debate to feel powerful. Their power is sourced from within. They understand that real battles are not won with volume, but with composure. And when chaos surrounds them, they protect their peace like a priceless treasure. You'll rarely see strong people explaining themselves in the heat of conflict. Why? Because their worth isn't up for debate. Their identity isn't shaken by other people's misunderstandings. They're not silent out of fear. They're silent because they're free. Thoreau believed that tranquility comes from simplicity and alignment. Strong people follow this truth. Their silence is a natural expression of the calm they've built over time. They don't need to rise to every bait, because they've risen above the need to. When you encounter someone who's calm in the face of insult or chaos, recognize it for what it is: discipline, not indifference. That kind of silence comes from deep work, from building peace that chaos can't reach. The world will try to break your stillness, but if you've built your peace from the inside out, it cannot. 5. Action speaks louder than reaction. Strong people don't waste words. They invest actions. They don't try to control chaos with noise. They let their behavior, their choices, and their consistency deliver the message. When the room is shouting, it's easy to get caught in the echo, but strong people stay silent because they know that arguing over opinions is often fruitless. Instead, they act. They focus on the task, the mission, the truth. Their silence becomes a stage for action. Every reaction is a transaction. It costs you time, energy, focus, and strong people choose not to spend it recklessly. They understand that action, done consistently and purposefully, reshapes the room more than any speech can. Think of the leaders who changed the world, not through chaos, but through composed action. Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, even Thoreau himself. They used silence as a form of resistance and discipline, and when they did speak, it carried the full weight of their stillness. Action brings results, reaction brings exhaustion. Strong people don't chase arguments, they create outcomes. Their silence during noise isn't withdrawal, it's redirection. It's stepping away from wasted movement and stepping into meaningful motion. They know that people remember how you made them feel more than what you said, and actions that are calm, consistent, and rooted in principle, have a deeper impact than words hurled in the heat. When others react out of impulse, strong people act from alignment. They aren't proving themselves, they're building something, and that construction makes more noise than any argument ever could. Let others talk, let others react. The strong build in silence, and when the time is right, their work speaks volumes. If chaos surrounds you, don't match its volume, match it with calm. Watch, listen, then act, not from noise, but from clarity. Subscribe to Echo of Legends for more timeless lessons on how silence shapes strength. Walk quietly, think deeply, move wisely,